What do these two evil women have in common? They both brutally murdered their husbands. After being turned into the police by a guy she was having an affair with, a Utah lady was charged with her husband's death and disappearance. An unknown informant told police that she killed her spouse after he discovered she was having an affair. Last month, Jennifer Gledhill, 41, is charged with shooting her estranged husband, National Guardsman Matthew Johnson, in the head while he was asleep in their Salt Lake City home. According to court records, she then reportedly changed the mattress, disposed of the body in a small hole, and tried to use bleach to remove blood from the bed frame and carpet. Gledhill is charged with 9 offenses, including 1 case of first-degree murder, 5 counts of felony obstruction of justice, 1 act of witness tampering, and 1 crime of abuse or desecration of a deceased person's body. Gledhill is also charged with obstruction of justice for removing a dead body, cleaning the residence, disposing of a mattress, relocating a vehicle, erasing WhatsApp chats, and disposing of a gun. In charging documents, prosecutors claimed that Gledhill had also asked her parents to look after the couple's children the night of the murder, and then asked them to do so again, presumably while she was cleaning up the crime scene and disposing of Matthew's body. Records of Gledhill's failed attempts to get protection orders against Johnson throughout their marriage were also discovered by investigators. She was an instigator and one to goad Matthew into a response in order to get him in trouble, according to the court investigator. The state believes that defendant was very calculating in her crimes, according to court documents. Johnson had not returned to work, and his phone was going straight to voicemail when one of his co-workers called police on September 25th to ask for help finding him. That's when police began their search for him. When police called Gledhill on September 28th, she stated that she wanted to report her husband missing since he hadn't been seen or heard from since they got into a fight at their house on September 20th. Gledhill informed the police Johnson informed her he was going to be gone for a week and not to call him, according to court filings. She appeared distracted and occasionally nervous when she first called an officer. Gledhill allegedly called an unnamed guy who was having an extramarital affair with her on September 22nd and asked to visit his home shortly before midnight, according to the police. Gledhill allegedly informed him that she was likely going away for a long time and that she wanted to give him some prints so that someone might appreciate them. After that, she reportedly arrived at his house, visibly distraught. Gledhill provided the informant with information regarding the murder in a number of follow-up discussions. Police were informed by the informant. On September 20th, Johnson knew she had been having an affair and began to rage at her when he got home. According to court documents, on September 21st, Gledhill allegedly told her affair partner that she shot Matthew in the head while he was sleeping in their shared bed. She then concealed his car in a neighborhood close to their home and broke his cell phone. She then informed the informant that she had moved her husband's body into a rooftop storage container, slid him down the stairs, and then loaded him into the back of her minivan. After that, Gledhill allegedly dug a hole and buried him in a shallow grave at an undisclosed site. She reportedly informed the informant that she was very likely going to kill herself that very night, or eventually, if the police figured out she killed Matthew as she refused to spend her life in prison. In addition to testifying, Gledhill's lover provided authorities with exchanged texts and phone conversations he had recorded with Gledhill that made references to her behavior. Additionally, on September 21st and into September 22nd, a neighbor reported to authorities that she heard Gledhill and Johnson arguing. Later, on September 24th, the neighbor reported to the police that she had witnessed Gledhill's parents cleaning the house. Detectives discovered Johnson's car with his phone inside 0.3 miles from the couple's residence on September 30th. The truck was parked where it was discovered on September 30th, September 21st, according to doorbell camera footage, and Gledhill's cell phone data indicates that it passed close to the location where the vehicle was later located. Investigators have not yet located Johnson's body, but stains taken from the couple's house revealed that the blood was that of a man. A DNA test is being conducted to ascertain whether the blood is Johnson's. According to court documents, Gledhill never made an attempt to get in touch with Johnson after September 21st. Gledhill is being held without bail and faces a maximum sentence of life in jail.
A Cottonwood Heights woman has been booked into jail accused of killing her husband.
It all began here on September 20th when police received a report that the man of this house,
Matthew Johnson, he's a 51-year-old male,
was missing. And 10 days in, there'd been no sign.
It's suspicious at this time because we found his pickup truck about a block from his house.
2 days after that discovery, Cottonwood Heights police announced a major break in the case, the arrest of Johnson's wife, 41-year-old Jennifer Gledhill.
For murder one, which is a first-degree felony.
Detectives said the woman who reported Johnson missing was actually his killer. The couple, police said, had been going through a divorce, and there was an argument.
After the argument, we know that the victim was shot, and then his body removed from the home.
Detectives tell KSL the investigation had gone around the clock in recent days.
We've actually executed over 20 search warrants in this case.
And in the end, the findings outlined a tragic conclusion.
From what we were able to gather, the neighbors loved them both. I know Mr. Johnson was very well respected in his 19-year career with the special operations and special forces in the Army, so it is a tragedy for all.
We have breaking news coming in for you tonight. Officers have now arrested the parents of the woman accused of killing her husband, a National Guardsman.
Thomas and Rosalie Gledhill have been arrested on 3 counts of obstruction of justice. Police say the Gledhills helped their daughter Jennifer clean up the evidence after she murdered Matthew Johnson. Police say the parents have not cooperated with the investigation and have not helped to find Johnson's body. Police are still searching for that body tonight.
In what one detective called one of the most bizarre cases police have ever encountered, a Sydney woman has been accused with killing, dismembering, and disposing of her husband in trash cans over 18 months after he was last seen. Police in New South Wales have accused Nirmeen Nofal, 53, of purposefully killing and dismembering Mamdouh Nofal, 62, at their family home of over a decade last year, in order to conceal his remains. The case is being handled as a murder with domestic abuse. When family friends reported the man missing in July 2023, authorities stated they launched an investigation into his disappearance. He hadn't been seen since May, so police were summoned to his house on Juno Parade in Greenacre, in the west of Sydney. Date Soup Danny Doherty, the leader of the homicide unit, stated on Saturday that the case shifted to a suspected murder case in January, when suspicious circumstances allegedly surfaced throughout the course of the inquiry. Many versions that didn't add up were provided, he claimed. His family friends were worried about his whereabouts and believed he was traveling abroad, but they were unable to get in touch with him. His relatives couldn't find him in Egypt either. In addition, police claimed that Nofal had used her husband's social media accounts and bank accounts as a ruse to make it appear as though he was still alive. This only stopped when he was officially reported missing in July. Police will claim that he was killed and dismembered at the house in Juno Parade, where the murder and intentional killing took place, Doherty stated. Additionally, we will claim that she chopped and butchered his body, put his body parts in plastic bags, and then dumped his remains in a variety of trash cans and in southwest Sydney's residential and commercial districts. The house was reportedly thoroughly cleaned and refloored. Doherty claimed the victim was later dismembered using knives and a power saw, but he would not go into detail about the precise reason or manner of his death. "It's on par with one of the most strange ways of dying," he remarked. Together, the couple had brought up 8 kids, all of whom were in their 20s and 30s. Nofal was taken into custody at a hospital in Bankstown, where she had self-admitted on Thursday. According to the police, they were concerned that she may flee the country. She was arrested the next day and officially charged with her husband's murder. Police had never heard of the couple before. She had aspirations to travel and own property abroad. Despite the lack of remains, we made the decision to take action, because to compelling circumstantial and other evidence, Doherty stated. We were worried that she might go abroad and not return. In court, we will claim that she was the only one who killed him, dismembered him, and disposed of his remains. According to Doherty, the accused had lived in social housing, received government help, and amassed a lot of unexplained wealth during the previous 20 years. He claimed that she had bought shares in the United Arab Emirates and flown to Egypt, where she had sold properties. According to Doherty, there was direct and cogent proof that Nofal reportedly acted alone and with premeditation, even though none of her husband's remains had been found. His remains have never been found to date, and I doubt they ever will be, he stated. There are still many questions that need to be answered, but additional facts pertaining to claimed purpose and benefits will be revealed in court. This was apparently planned. She was going to profit monetarily and, with substantial gain from the sale of properties and money received as a result of Mamdouh's passing. We think that's a powerful incentive. Nofal is scheduled to return to court on December 11th after being denied bail.
Breaking news out of Sydney, and homicide detectives have charged a woman with the murder of her husband who'd not been seen since May last year. We cross live now to Josh Martin, who joins us from Greenacre. And Josh, this was a particularly gruesome crime.
Yes, good morning, Matt. Very grisly details indeed. A 53-year-old woman is alleged to have killed her husband and then to have cut up his body to hide his remains. The 62-year-old man was reported missing from here in Greenacre in May last year, and after a years-long investigation, detectives swooped this week, arresting the 53-year-old woman from the Bankstown Hospital. They also conducted a search warrant on the couple's home here on Juno Parade in Greenacre in Sydney Southwest. Now, the woman has been charged with murder and dismemberment. She faced Bankstown local court yesterday and was refused bail. She'll reappear in court in December, but for neighbours waking up here this morning in Sydney Southwest, they'll be shocked, I'm sure, to learn the details that are alleged to have happened between this couple.